Thank you so much for joining me for this Yin Asana practice. And please like this video if you do enjoy it. Today we are going to be focusing on calming the nervous system. And so let's begin. Finding your seat and feeling that earth underneath you supporting you. This is your real estate that you occupy in this moment on the planet Earth, and levels the playing ground for all humans because we all can only occupy one piece of real estate at a time in a human body. And this is your spot here on your mat, honoring this spot as your piece of sacred real estate for your sacred embodiment as an infinite spiritual being having this human experience. And send some gratitude to the earth for this support, for this piece of real estate that you get to occupy at this time. And closing the eyes and diving deeply within your own being and connecting as best as possible with this indweller within you. This part of you that is the eternal self that stays with you from lifetime to lifetime and between lifetimes and beyond all physical life. This is your eternal friend, your eternal beloved. Never leaves you, will always be there for all time and all eternity. And to put our security in that inner being, that inner aliveness, that inner identity, that inner intelligence, that soul power, that heart that is your eternal true self. And let's begin to breathe into the belly, into the abdomen, the lower belly. We're calming our nervous system. So we're going to breathe into this lower belly for several breaths now. I invite you to do that. And as you connect deeply with this indweller, with the heart, that love, that presence that dwells within your heart, within your soul, breathing into the belly and every breath as you inhale, inhaling in peace and love and light. And as you exhale, exhaling all that no longer serves your highest good, your truth. So several breaths, inhaling that peace and that love and that light, that deep inner security. And exhaling all that no longer serves. Breathing a few more breaths in the belly, and we're going to move into three-part yogic breath. And as you're exhaling all that no longer serves, it can be fears and insecurities. It can be little grudges and grievances, unforgivenesses. Just letting it all go. Anything that no longer serves your highest good, your highest self. And let's move into a couple three-part yogic breaths as we continue the same visualization, inhaling that peace and love and light, and exhaling all that no longer serves. So we're going to inhale into the belly, and then like a wave into the ribs and into the chest. And exhaling completely. And continuing breathing into the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And I like to pause at the top of the breath, a little pause, and then exhaling all that no longer serves. And doing this at your own pace, your own rhythm. And if you like, on your exhale, you can also add a little forward fold. So it would look like this. I'm inhaling into the belly, the ribs, the chest. Gentle pause at the top at your comfort level, and then exhaling all that no longer serves, folding forward gently. And then gently coming up as you inhale your 3-part yogic breath and exhaling forward folding. Just an invitation. And as you inhale that love and light and peace and angels and joy and whatever inspires you, bringing that into the indweller, bringing it into your heart, that eternal self. Allow it to be a flow, a moving meditation, exhaling as you come down, and beginning the inhale as you come up. Letting the head to be the last to drop, and then again, as you come up, the head being the last to come up. And I'm noticing for myself that my pause is my journey upward. And sometimes it's my inhale. Allowing it to be your flow, adding any of your own little variations. And a couple more breaths. One more breath. And coming up to center and taking this moment now to check in with your inner being. Just scanning your physical body first, just feeling that physical presence 360 degrees. Feel the earth underneath you. Whatever sensations are arising from your physical being. And then dive in deeper into sensation. Dive into the heart pulsing, that pulsation within you, expanding throughout to the fingertips and toes. And noticing any other sensation within you, energy moving, tingling, vibrating. All your attention to that Atman, that indweller, that inner divine presence, that soul presence, that heart. Keeping the breath flowing in the belly. And allowing yourself to scan the emotional being, the emotional body, the emotional landscape, the Manomaya Kosha. And as you dive into this Manomaya Kosha, emotional and mental body, allow the emotions just to simply arise. Don't need to change them. Please don't label them. Feel them rather than intellectualizing them. Dive into them, bask in them. Don't judge them or make them right or wrong, good or bad. Either way, just take a moment to feel fully what is arising, what's there for you in that emotional landscape. Keeping the breath flowing, whatever you prefer, 3-part yogic breath or belly breathing. Keeping that breath flowing. And gently letting that go. And take this moment to set an intention for yourself for this practice. And take a few breaths to feel those emotions associated with having that intention now, speaking that intention in the positive and present tense. And begin. And releasing that intention, allowing those emotions to stay with you. And let's bring the hands to the knees and do some gentle circles around the pelvic area, bringing the torso into some nice circles around the pelvis. And taking our time, going slowly. And if there's any sensation anywhere, allowing yourself to rock back and forth and massage that tension. And allow yourself to dive into the sensations and um, bring yourself to sensations during this practice rather than thinking. So if you notice you're thinking about something you need to do later on or something that happened the prior day, um, just allow yourself to just tell the thought, the thinking sphere that this isn't the time for them. You'll be back to the thinking after practice, I'm sure. But right now is a practice of being. And so just gently and kindly dismiss the thought energy and move into feeling the sensations within you, sensations in your body, even the emotions, just basking in the sensations. Pratyahara, diving inward and withdrawing all your attention from the external and keeping that breath flowing. We're going to go the other direction now. If you wanted to add any spontaneous movements throughout this pose, start to bring the shoulder in a little bit or the head. Just begin to move a little spontaneous with the body, moving the shoulders, shoulder blades together and opening the chest, maybe moving into some cat-cow. Just beginning to move gently and spontaneously, doing what feels really good for you. Allowing the head to get into it, very gentle with the head and the neck. Remembering this is yin yoga, so we'll be holding the poses a little longer. It's a gentle flow. It's an opportunity to restore and bring that energy inward and recharge yourself by diving into that source of all your energy, your inner being, your inner soul, being very connected and present with the self, keeping the breath flowing. So we'll be moving a little slower, holding the poses longer, very gentle. We're practicing sacred embodiment with ecstatic yoga. So we want to, every practice, feel like we're just getting a little more connected with the body. And we're connected with our own body. And let's bring the feet together in Baddha Konasana now. Come to center here. Feet are together, soles of feet together. You can wrap the hands around the feet. You can open those feet up like a book. And we're going to gently flap those butterfly wings, those legs and knees, and gently flap up and down. It's a nice gentle sensation. Find the pace and the rhythm that feels good for you. And close your eyes and just imagine being the butterfly and finding the butterfly within you. We all have our times of resting in the chrysalis, those times of coming out of the chrysalis as a transformed being, new being. So allow yourself to start to visualize that transformed self that you are. And slowly allowing the knees to slow down and pressing those knees and legs down towards the earth. Feeling a nice grounding of the pelvic floor. We can engage those bandhas now. So we have 3 bandhas. Mula bandha is a pelvic floor. We're going to engage it gently and feel a lift. Uddiyana bandha is your abdomen. again, engaging gently and feeling a lift. Jalandhara Bandha is the chin. We bring it in just a little, and the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. And as an inhale, we're going to engage the bandhas, all three, which are called Mala Bandha. And on the exhale, we're going to hinge at these hips, these hip joints. We're going to hinge. The spine is not moving at all. We're going to keep the spine straight. We're just moving the hip joints. And I'm moving my hips. And get to your edge. Find your edge here in the hips. And keep those bandhas engaged. Maybe re-engage them a little bit. And bring 3 nice deep belly breaths into this forward fold Baddha Konasana. Staying connected with the inner being, that inner peace within you. Maybe see if you can hinge just a little bit deeper in your hip as you rest it on that edge for a few breaths. A couple more breaths. And on your next inhale, gently and kindly hinging up. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. We're going to move now into single leg forward fold. So I'm going to take my left leg out straight. I'm going to take my right leg and bend that knee, and I'm going to bring the sole of the right foot and rest it on the inner thigh of the left leg. And we're going to go into a forward fold in a moment, a single leg forward fold. And the forward fold is an invitation to go inward. We're folding forward, so it's an invitation to bring our energy in. We're going to be breathing into our belly, nice slow breaths. And I'm going to invite you to use the Ujjayi breath if you like. It's a nice focus for the breath, for the mind. You have to keep the mind out of the thought energy and into presence and being and basking in your own inner truth and aliveness. And so it's also called ocean breath, and it's when we gently engage the glottis muscle back in our throat. And you can feel that engagement if you put your hand out in front of you and you just pretend you're going to fog a mirror. And then closing the mouth and doing that same sensation. And that is the ocean breath. We're using that same glottis muscle. We're just going to go a lot slower and more rhythmic. So that's the invitation. And then as we fold forward, also bringing that love, nice deep breaths, and inhaling, bringing that love and that peace and that compassion, that joy, that nurturing energy into that full love and acceptance into your heart, into your inner indweller, and then exhaling all that no longer serves. So let's inhale together and lengthen the spine. And exhale, folding forward. We're going to hinge first at the hips. And then when you find the edge, allow the spine to round and bring the head in towards the knees. You can bring the hands down. Hands can even massage the feet a little bit. And massaging these feet as this sacred body temple. And as the intention of becoming more embodied, more present to this physical body. From a state and a stance of it being just a learning device, a temporary housing, a temple for your divine soul. And let's breathe our breathing practice, using that Ujjayi if you like. Continuing to breathe in your forward fold. And a couple more breaths. One more breath. And then gently, kindly coming up. You're going to switch legs, bring the right leg out and left leg. Bend in, rest the sole of the left foot on the inner thigh of the right leg. And you bring the hands to the mat, inhaling, lengthening the spine. And exhaling, hinging forward on that right hip, especially both hips, but we're really focusing on the right side now. Bringing the hands down, allowing the spine to round. You can massage that foot a little bit, that right foot. Great love and devotion. Breathing with your Ujjayi breath, inhaling all the love and light and angels and peace and beauty and grace that you can possibly receive, and then exhaling all that no longer serves. All negativity, all fear, all guilt and shame, all insecurity and self-doubt. Couple more breaths. And on your next inhale, gently, kindly coming up. Beautiful job. We're going to come into a table pose. The knees are right under the hips and the wrists are right underneath the shoulders. We're going to move into a little cat-cow here. And so as we move into our cow, we're going to arch the back, bring the head and heart up for our extension of the spine. I love to inhale in my cow and then exhaling into cat. We're going to tuck that tailbone under, round that spine like a Halloween cat, dropping your head down, exhaling completely. That's a flexion of the spine and moving back and forth at your own pace. Nice slow movements, noticing sensation. Use your Ujjayi breath, keeping the focus on sensation and the inner heart, the inner wisdom. Maybe when you go into this cat this time, you might want to bring the hips back, feel a nice stretch of the lower back. Maybe you want to go side to side, or maybe make circles. Begin to move and flow in your cat-cow, adding some spontaneous movements that feel good for you. Keeping that breath flowing. Staying fully focused on yourself, the inner pratyahara, the physical sensations, staying in that state of being. And a couple more times. And on your next cat and your next exhale, moving into a child's pose, opening up those knees a little bit and coming back into child's pose. And we're going to allow ourselves to take several breaths here as we allow the nervous system to really calm. We're breathing into the lower abdomen, triggering that parasympathetic nervous system, using that Ujjayi breath if you can, or the buzzing bee breath, where we close off the ears and on every exhale we hum. But Ujjayi is a little easier and simpler and more restorative. You can use that. And taking this time to be really deeply with yourself and allowing all the systems to slow down, especially that nervous system. Just relaxing the brain, every nerve being soothed and coated and immersed with peace and love and gentleness and security and harmony and safety. This deep sense of peaceful rest. I invite you to move into child's pose now, being with yourself. Nice, slow, deep breaths as you dive deeper and deeper within your own being, your own heart. Couple more breaths. On your next inhale coming up, we're going to bring the hands out in front of us and we're going to move into an up dog. So we're going to come up onto the knees. You can bring those knees back to hip width apart, hinging the hips forward. And in our up dog, we're using our arms to hold us up. You can let those thighs rest gently onto the earth, gaze forward, and engage those bandhas. And let's breathe in our beautiful back bend up dog. One more breath. And on the exhale, we're going to come back to an extended child's pose, keeping those hands extended out where they are. Just taking an exhale here. And then inhaling, coming up into your up dog. Nice, slow, deep breaths, giving your body time to slowly move into that full up dog, even those shoulders coming back and the shoulder blades together. And then exhaling into a nice child's pose. And allowing this flow for several breaths. And with each inhale, connecting deeper to that peace that passes all understanding that's within you always. And as you exhale, letting go of all stress, all anxiety within your being and your nervous system. As an act of self-love, inhaling that self-love into your own heart and exhaling all stress and anxiety, all worry, all nervousness, as an act of self-love. And coming up to center into your table pose, and we're going to bring the feet under. Actually, first let's do come down all the way onto the belly. Right. Stretching the arms out and the legs out behind you. See how far they can stretch. And then we're going to inhale as we lift the right arm up and extend that out, and the opposite left leg. So feel that stretch on the left leg and right arm and hand. And breathe. And release down, and let's go to the other side. Inhaling, left arm up and right leg. Feeling them both extend. And breathe. And release down. And bring the head down, and maybe bring the hands so you can rest your head on your hands. Looking to one side or the other and allowing those hips to rock a little bit. Just in a beautiful way, not a sexual way, just allowing that pelvis to release a little bit and unwind, and allowing it to comfort you and calm the nervous system. Breathing into the belly. And allowing the rocking to slow down to a stop. Taking a breath. And rest in this stillness. And when you're ready, rolling over to your back. And let's bring the knees into the chest and rock back and forth this way. Let's rock back and forth for several rocks, allowing again that nervous system to calm, keeping that breathing in the belly. Every exhale, letting go of all that no longer serves, all stress, all anxiety, all tension in the body, mind, or spirit. And let's bring those legs up and bring your hands behind the hamstrings and then gently pulling the legs in towards the body. Feeling a nice stretch in the hamstrings, the lower back. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. Fully present in sensation, basking in the nectar of your own being. One more breath here. And then releasing the knees in the exhale, bringing those knees back in and rocking back and forth. We're going to move into Baddha Konasana, a nice little hip opener, bringing the soles of the feet together, wrapping the hands around the feet. And then we're going to gently pull the feet in towards the body, opening up both hips simultaneously, engaging those bandhas, and let's breathe. Breathing in that peace, that love, that calm, and that light. And exhaling all that no longer serves, all tension, all conflict of all forms. One more breath. Nice, slow, deep breaths, using the Ujjayi as much as possible. We're going to move into nice hip opener, baby. So we're going to widen those knees. Feet are up. The soles of the feet are facing the sky. Hands are wrapped around the outer edges of the feet. We're going to inhale, and then on our exhale, we're going to pull those knees and feet. Pulling the feet down, the knees coming down, the hips opening. Breathing deeply into the belly, using Ujjayi. On the exhale, letting all that no longer serves just go and surrendered, letting it go. Releasing that ball and just rolling around in your happy baby Ananda Balasana, kicking the feet, moving, allowing yourself to get more and more embodied into these legs. Sometimes we forget we have legs. So really allowing yourself to move around and fully embody these legs you have. Identify with them, become one with them. Moving them around. Babies discover their feet and their legs and they start to move into happy baby. So enjoy that. And releasing those legs. And we're going to move into our releases before we go into our Savasana. And releases are really important, and we're going to use them to continue to calm the nervous system. We're going to move into Hula as we swivel the hips. Nothing moves up off the earth. The sacrum is simply, and the hips are just swiveling. The sacrum's resting on the earth. Nothing's lifting up, and I'm feeling my right hip reaching down towards my right heel right now, and my left hip is reaching up towards the armpit. And then I'm going to switch. So I'm going to feel that right hip coming up towards the armpit, left hip reaching down towards the left heel. And continuing that beautiful swivel in the hips and the pelvic area, involving all those muscles in this pelvic girdle. Releasing, relaxing, noticing sensation here. And breathe. Allowing every breath to bring a deeper sense of calm throughout the entire nervous system. Slow, deep breaths into the belly. And coming back to neutral. And we're going to move now into hip pointers. So now we are going to lift up a little. I'm going to root my left pelvis into the floor as I lift the right hip. And I point that up towards the sky. The right butt cheek is lifting up to a little bit. And a tiny little twist in that lumbar spine. Allowing the right hip to come down to the earth, rooting that right hip and buttocks into the earth as I lift and point my left hip up towards the sky, right? Left buttocks is lifting up a little bit. Hip pointers, one at a time, lifting one hip at a time and pointing it up. And continuing at your own pace. Nice, deep, slow breaths as you calm that nervous system more and more deeply. Staying present in the state of being rather than getting lost and distracted in thought. Be present to all the sensations. And one more on each side. And coming back to center. Now we're going to move into some cat-cow on the mat, so flexion and extension. Let's move into our cat as we press the small of the back, the lumbar spine, into the earth, into the mat, and tuck the tailbone under, flexing that spine. And then we move into cow as we stick and press that tailbone into the earth and the mat as you allow the lumbar spine to arch up off the mat. Back and shoulder blades and arms are resting and secure on the earth as we extend the spine in our cow and moving back and forth into cat-cow on the floor, supine. Keeping that breath flowing. I like to exhale in the cat and inhale into my cow. Each breath, finding a deeper sense within the entire nervous system, blanketed every nerve fiber, bringing a deep sense of calm, peace, centeredness, presence to the entire nervous system, endocrine system, and the whole body. And one more breath in your cat cow. And coming back to center, we're going to take those feet and we're going to walk them further apart, keeping the knees up till they get to the wide edges of the mat, and drop one knee at a time in towards the center. Breathing, relaxing, and feeling the sensations of this beautiful single knee drop release. Time on each side. And coming back to center, keeping the knees up and walking those feet so they're together, and flopping those knees over to one side or the other, lifting the upper knee up, allowing it to come over to the other side, allowing the bottom knee to follow. And one more time on both sides. And coming back to center. Let's bring those knees into the chest for one more final release and relax the lower back, rocking back and forth. Release any sensations. And when you're ready, bring those legs out, straight, resting on your back, legs apart a little, feet flopping out, arms a little away from the body, palms up, and letting everything go, allowing your body to sink deeply into the earth and allow the earth to hold you securely and safely, like a mother holds a baby. Allowing all the systems of your body to release and relax and feel the deep blanket of peace come over your entire being, inside you and out. In a deep, calm blanket of peace and relaxation that fills the brain, the spinal column, and the neck, all the way down to the tailbone. And every nerve, every synapse, every fiber and aspect of the nervous system be blanketed with this peace. And we'll rest in silence as we integrate the entire practice for a few moments. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly as you begin to come back. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes, stretching out the body. And then rolling over to one side. And gently coming up to a seated position. Taking this moment now to check in with yourself. First, checking in with the physical body. And then checking in with the pratyahara, the inner aliveness. You may feel that heart beating. And diving into the Manamaya Kosha, the emotional and mental body, and simply basking in that landscape, noticing without judgment, without labeling, feeling fully what's there. You may sense a much deeper sense of peace within you since the beginning of practice. A calm, a settling, a quieter space within, emotionally, energetically. You may feel a calmer emotional center, getting more vibrant inner aliveness. Bring yourself back to that intention you set at the beginning of practice. Taking a nice deep breath. Sending that intention off with a this or better, with a this or better, with gratitude, knowing that it will manifest in the highest form for you. And we will conclude our practice with Namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste.